Welcome, Entrepreneur Nation, to the Entrepreneur Unplugged. I'm your host, Rolando Castro. On today's episode, we have someone with a lot of energy and a smile from ear to ear. Entrepreneur Nation, it's welcome, Jeremy Rivera. Jeremy, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me, bro.
You're great.
Appreciate this.
Awesome.
Phenomenal.
Where's the energy? But I need the energy.
Oh, right on.
Mr.
Energy.
Fellow Firewalker, right?
Yes, sir.
So, Mr. Jeremy, for the Entrepreneur Nation who doesn't know you yet, who are you?
I'm a passionate, powerful, masterful, loving leader. I'm a 32-year-old entrepreneur. I work with ADT, Millennium Alarm Systems. I've been in the business for about 5 years.
Okay, great. 5
Um,
years, a long time.
yeah,
Good.
5 years, yes, absolutely.
Great,
Yeah,
great,
5
great.
years. 5 years will do a lot.
So you have a 9-year-old daughter, right, named Mia?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
How is it being a father? What are the beauties of coming home and seeing your daughter? Hey, my daddy's home. I mean, how does that feel?
Wow, being a father is phenomenal, brother. It's a fulfillment every day. Every day is a learning curve, but it's something unexplainably fulfilling. On a day-to-day basis where you don't know what to expect, but you're able to just know that you're doing your best as a parent to raise somebody to be better than you were when
Right.
at that age.
It wasn't always that way, correct?
No.
Your daughter was born in 2005, back against the wall, no job. I mean, that must have really been horrific, right? Take us into that stage of your life where you have a newborn baby and you literally have maybe no funds to provide for her.
Yeah, it was very, very, very impactful and life-changing for me. It sparked this flare right up under my butt, and gave me an awareness of where I was really at in life, how unprepared I was.
Yeah.
And I had no job. I was in and out of jobs in a state of life where I was blaming everybody else for my mistakes. I was trying to portray an image, and when I found out she was going to be born, life hit me right in the face, and it was like, all right, am I actually ready for this? How am I going to, bring somebody into the world where I can't even take care of myself at that point,
Yeah.
It was a process, process. I mean, things don't just happen overnight, but it was a process gradually as, her mother was, gaining that womb and our finances.
Getting bigger and bigger. Like, wait a minute, she's gonna be born anytime soon.
Yeah, our finances are being
together.
checked, every week to see if we could, afford even to buy her, the things that she may need in the future. We were like, wow, we need a place to live. We need diapers, and we need to start having a savings. It just, everything hit. And at that point in my life, it became do or die. And I was involved in a lot of negative things at the time.
You were a DJ, right?
I was a DJ. One of my positive aspects of growing up. I was a DJ. I was throwing parties as soon as I graduated from high school. Before that, I was throwing parties. I got involved in the underground party scene, and I was, I grew up pretty good. My parents had a house for us. They had everything we needed. They provided shelter, food. I mean, I couldn't ask for any more. And right around 13, 14, I started to take on a different state of mind, more rebellious, wanted to, see different
Fit in
things.
with the wrong crowd.
And be fit in with the cool people, the people, and it was the wrong crowd, At the time, I thought it was the cool people, and from there, one thing led to another. I started throwing parties. I started DJing, and it was I had one foot in, one foot out because I was doing the right things. I was taking advanced college courses at the high school level. I was doing that for 3 years, preparing myself to go to university. I would do that every summer, every winter came around. So I was preparing myself, but at the same time, I had the circle of influence that wasn't
pushing you back.
Yeah, it was a resistance. It was holding me there in a place where I couldn't advance after a while, and it was ultimately my decision. I noticed. And when I graduated, I had the choice to go to university or a couple universities of my choice.
That's where you recall, that's where you state you missed your golden opportunity, right?
Absolutely. I feel there was golden opportunities that were present in my life that I initially started to work towards and desired, but I didn't have the right focus to keep me tuned into what I wanted to do. You know, I had too many other things I was involved in that kind of like you could say tempted me to go that way, and that's what I did. I went for the quick dollar, the fun life, you know, just living it up, as I would say, at an 18-year-old kid, you know,
Wow.
at the age of 18, living it up. And
As most people did. I mean, I did the same thing as well.
yeah, I was an
it
entrepreneur
was
at that
cool.
time, bro. I was
Yeah.
15, and I was already hanging around with people throwing parties. And by the time I was like 17, I was throwing my own parties. I was DJing. I was DJing my own parties, so that overcost was done. I was selling things at the parties, you know, alcohol and all that stuff. It was underground. It was, you know, whatever I could do. And I try to provide as much as I can, so I had a low overhead. And I would make a revenue of like anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000 on the weekend, you know. And this was all with a team of you know, guys that were friends of mine that were fellow classmates. And we were all on the same page to get that money. And, you know, they would throw parties, I would throw parties, we would support each other and throwing parties as a team, and it became that, you know, and the money was good, and I was working a part-time job, so it felt good for a while everything was, you know, rolling. But after a while, you start noticing people getting stabbed, people getting shot, people, you know, just getting
House
hurt.
parties is not a safe place to be.
It was,
but when you're young, you don't care. You want to fit in with the crowd, and you want to be surrounded by the party scene.
yeah, absolutely, man. And once you know, get the ball rolling at these, we were throwing parties Friday, Saturday, and even Sundays having barbecues. It wasn't every weekend thing, you know. It was for like 2 or 3 years straight, you know. That's how it was. And to let go of something that was already we were involved in and had so many attachments to, it was not until things started happening, you know, when my cousin got stabbed and nearly lost his life. You know, he died twice in the emergency room. And I remember that day like it was yesterday. All our friends are there, and we're just like shaking our heads, and we're just down, you know, praying for my cousin. And that's what was a turning point for us to like take us, slow things down, and maybe not throw so many parties, but still, you know,
You kept going.
you're already involved. You're already knowing so many people, so it's not parties anymore. It's friendship with the associations with those people, and you just, you know, there was drugs, there was alcohol, there was, you know, a lot of things that a family, when you're about to be a father, you shouldn't be around. And at that time, when I knew I was about to be a father, I was still associated with all of that.
From those 9 years after high school, what's the biggest lesson you've learned?
Biggest lesson I've learned is to be yourself. Being yourself and believing. Once you be yourself, you allow yourself to start to learn the incredible things that you have been gifted with. We all have incredible gifts in us, and being yourself allows you to flourish that magnificent talent you may have, and with that you start to believe in yourself. It starts with, you know, being authentic, but then after you're authentic, you start to believe more and more in the things that you're capable of. A writer who flourishes in writing and just prospers beyond another person who studies it, but they just, you know, that's not them. You know, they're not being authentic. There's something that they chose. So for me, I feel, you know, my biggest thing is following what resonates with you, what makes you feel happy. You know, at the end of the day, that's all that matters, because if you're following somebody else's footsteps or what somebody else wants you to be, you know, you're fulfilling something for them and not for yourself. And that fulfillment can devastate you in the long run. You know, you don't want to feel that regret. And regret is a hard pill to swallow.
Was it hard to swallow?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, being a DJ, I know I have a lot of talent in that, and it's a passion I have. It's weird. I've never felt...
it could be done in a positive way.
Absolutely.
What changes did you have to make in order to improve your quality of life when that actually happened to you?
So going through what I would call the rock bottom time for me, a depression, I had to I had to fend for myself in a way where no matter what anybody would try to do to make me feel better, it wouldn't work. It was more like, this ultimately is up to me and nobody else.
Did you realize that it was your fault?
You know, that was the biggest thing that supported me. Because I knew instantly when that happened that it was my fault. I've seen a lot of other people blame other people for where they're going and what they're doing. And I noticed that I had to stop blaming other people. That's all I did all my life. That's all I would do all my life. And not until I said, you know what, this is my fault. And, you know, at first I was going to I did everything tooth and nail to make things right, to try to make her correct and bring her back. But it was done. It was it, period. It was in a coffin.
Yeah, I appreciate sharing like who you were at that moment.
Absolutely.
And she made a wise decision, so you know what, I love you and I want to be back with you. I assume, right?
Yeah.
But you need help as an individual.
Yeah.
And your priorities, your mindset. So, I mean, you really can't blame her.
Yeah. After a while, I got to notice that I didn't like myself. I didn't love myself. I didn't believe in myself. I was pretending to be somebody I was not.
So what changes did you have to make that were like, you know what, wow, I realized that I'm not where I want to be. I don't love who I am. What changes did you make to just change, I guess, and now we will call now your peak state?
It was a step-by-step process. Definitely step-by-step. Nothing happens overnight. But it was consistency applied to where I wanted to be, where I declared that I'll never want to be. So what I did was I would listen to a lot of audios. I heard that audio reading was good and meditating. So I started with audiobooks, and I was listening to Les Brown. Yeah. You Have Greatness Within You.
Yeah.
And You Have Greatness Within You was one of those audios that would just talk to me and resonate with me. And Les Brown, I don't know why, but his words of encouragement were positive for me and reinforcing at times where I was feeling really low. There's times where, I mean, it's tough to say that, and I feel ashamed of saying it, but I felt suicidal, you know, at times where like I wasn't able to control.
No, you shouldn't be ashamed.
Control, and those thoughts, I was like, you know, at times where it was like, damn, you know, I just want to end it all because it was unbearable, you know, couldn't sleep, couldn't eat. So Les Brown helped out a lot. Zig Ziglar, Earl Nightingale, you know, those were deep ones too. But it wasn't until I would share my story with everybody, man. I was like this, you know, I would carry my problem around with me and I would share it to people. And
right, you would kind of, this is my problem, help me.
You know, yeah.
You were looking for support.
Yeah, definitely, in all aspects. You know, my mother would try to talk to me, and no matter how she would talk to me, it wouldn't work. You know, I would talk to positive people, looking for information. Maybe there's something I'm missing, something that just one thing that could shift everything, and then try to take it back and try to fix things. And it was just, you know, scrambling at that point. But talking to positive people really helped me. Staying away from the negative people, the people who help me carry my problem and talk about my problem,
embrace
the problem and make it even bigger, emphasize it, magnify it. You know, those are the people I try to stay away from. I cut my negative circle of influence, all my friends, all my ties. I couldn't be around people. People would invite me, and let's go here, let's go there, and I'll give it a shot. But I mean, it was funny, bro. I would be hanging out with a couple of my friends, and they're all into everything, and they'll be snapping pictures of me because I'm just like, I'm out of it, bro. And they would send it to me and, look, bro, this is how you look, you know? And I couldn't, you know, people didn't want to be around me no more because no matter how much positivity they would try to reinforce me, it wasn't working. So I just, you know, stopped going out. I just started focusing on my daughter. What things made me happy was work. I started with ADT. ADT was I was a technician. I was blessed to be trained by somebody who was, you know, willing to help me out.
Some mentors.
Yeah, and guide me to get certified. And I achieved those step by step. And so I just dedicated myself to work, my daughter, listening to positive things, talking to positive people. And when I talking to positive people helped me find somebody who reintroduced God into my life. This person, I owe a lot to, you know. I mean, he probably doesn't even know it, but you know, his family, how they opened up to me and my daughter.
Or maybe if that person is watching, you might want, this is the time, a good time, if you know, if that person is alive, you know, tell them thank you. I mean, it'd be good if that person would ever watch the show.
I am very, very thankful to them and their family, and I know they know who they are.
Great.
You know,
Okay.
I know they know who they are, and I always carry them, you know, in my thoughts, and I pray for them. They have prayed for me and my family. They've followed up with me, and it's just, you know, there's a lot of things that have opened up because of just some people who are willing to give more than what they're supposed to, you know, and they inspired me to do the same.
God puts them there for a reason
Yeah.
to help you, and that happens all the time. But I think what the key is that you were ready for that. You
Yeah.
were open-minded. You know what? I need help. Because maybe when you were so close-minded, that person might be in front of you saying, "Yeah, I'm here to help."
Absolutely.
But you're so
You weren't ready
negative. You
for
don't
it.
care. You just no, I don't need help. So
Yeah. No,
you know,
absolutely.
I think you were. I think God put that person in the family at the perfect time when you were gonna say, "You know what? Okay, here, I extend my hand out." Now, fast forward.
I
Jeremy.
agree. I couldn't agree anymore.
Yeah, great. Fast forward. Let's go back into who you are now, right? Because, you know, I need to bring the energy alive because you are a great person. We all make mistakes, and I want people to know who you are now. You went through your rough patches. You made some bad decisions. You know, Entrepreneur Nation, if you know somebody who's going through a rough patch, just know that there is hope. We have somebody here who made bad decisions, lost his family for a while, buckled up his shoelaces. Let's go and making it happen.
Yeah.
So fast forward, you run your own group with ADT, right?
Yes.
So take us
Yes.
into how being in that company helped you become the person you are now.
It's exciting. It's phenomenal. I have a team. I don't have a huge team. I have it's actually my wife and one of my best friends. You know, I'm just starting this year. As I said, I was a technician for 4 years. So this year I finally took that leap of faith and said, you know, I'm
Yeah, I
gonna
remember
get into
you
sales.
installed our alarm here when I first met you. I was like,
Yes,
this guy
yes.
has a smile. This guy is golden. Because your smile was just ear to ear, and you were doing that work. Like, you know what, I might not, you know, finish here, but what I'm doing it, I'm going to do it with passion.
Yes.
And eventually that passion took you to where you are now.
Yeah.
So elaborate. I'm sorry to interrupt.
If there's something I learned from my mom, it was, you know, it doesn't matter if you're even scrubbing toilets, but you scrub the toilet to the best of your ability. You know what I mean? You make sure it's done class A.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, it's took a while for me to learn that, but it you know, after growing up and going through everything, you get to realize that's the way everything should be done.
Take us into who Abraham Hicks is and how he has a major impact on your behaviors and what you're becoming.
Wow. It's powerful. I just got the chills down my spine because Abraham Hicks is it's weird, but he's the core of law of attraction. He stems from Jerry and Esther Hicks, who both digged deep into what law of attraction is, and they came up with some some books on law of attraction, the art of allowing and the art of deliberate creation, and really stems deep into like this, what The Secret. I don't know if you've heard of The Secret.
Yes.
Well, The Secret, but on steroids, to its core, basically. It really gets detailed. Where The Secret came from was from the law of attraction, and you know, going to the Mike Ferry event, I came across a couple of people who were introduced to this, and they shared it with me. And out of curiosity, me and Jeffrey started to listen to it, and we started to see the stories of people that were doing the same processes, listening to this, following, you know,
What are some of those rituals, if you don't mind sharing them with us? Maybe just a few. How do you get into that mindset? What does Abraham teach that you put into action? If you don't mind sharing with Entrepreneur Nation.
Absolutely not. After listening to it fully and getting a better understanding, I just started going to YouTube videos, random YouTube videos that get into detail of certain questions you may have, you know, and it gave me more clarification. After that, I started getting into the processes, and the processes were such as a journal, appreciating, you know, writing. It's called a book of positive thoughts or book of positive aspects, where you're just, you know, just flowing and writing about things that you would like and things that you like and things that just make you feel happy just thinking about it. It could be from the smallest thing, detail, just like I love 4-leaf clovers, to like, you know, I want to attract more abundance, and you're just thinking about things that are easy going to you, flowing. There's a box of creations. You just have a box that you can put all positive things that you want to manifest in your future, whether it's like, you know, a little beach house, you can put it in there, whatever, anything that, you know, things that make you feel good as well. You dig deep, you know, a positive way of being in the future. Maybe I want my daughter to be a violinist, so, you know, I'll support her in that, so I have a picture of that. Things that just make me feel good, things that I'm achieving. And the biggest ones for me, honestly, are the nighttime processes and the morning processes. Before you go to bed, you want to make sure that you're not thinking about anything heavy. You know, you want to give yourself that hour to just easily flow into your, you know, your sleep, and allow that to be peaceful. You know, not worrying about what you have to do tomorrow. I know it's so difficult nowadays with entrepreneurs and business people that are, you know, are on top of their schedule. We live on the tomorrow. Yeah, absolutely.
It's one of my problems.
Yeah, it's very tough. But giving yourself the belief that everything will take care of itself, you know, everything. I don't know, you know, when things happen and it's like, wow, that was a coincidence or what? Yeah. You know, sometimes we take those coincidences for granted because, you know, what Abraham Hicks has taught me is that we are able to deliberately create our future. We get to declare it. You know, we just have to show up and believe it. That's one of the biggest things Abraham has taught me. It's about just believing it. A lot of people see it as like, wow, it's a lot of positive thought behind it, and that's all it is, you know, just positive thought. But that's exactly, but you're tapping into like this positive energy. There's energy all around us, you know what I mean? You could feel somebody's bad vibes when they're having a bad day. Right,
everything in life is energy.
Yeah, and now more that I've been getting in tune, it's weird. I could feel people's like body language. Like I could just read people and understand what they're going through. Yesterday I was in the line in the market, and this lady just came to the cart. I was about to pay, and she comes in, and I looked at her and acknowledged her, and something said, I need to hurry up and get out of here. I need to hurry up and get out of here. So I was like, oh, you know, would you like to go in front? I have quite a few items. And she's like, oh my God, you must have read my mind that I was running late. And
I read your body language.
You know, you being more in tune, more aligned with what things are happening. You know,
very powerful.
I get to see signs of like, you know, things happening, manifesting in all sorts of angles. I've taught this to my daughter just recently, because this is all new. This has probably been about 6 months of listening to these audios.
So it takes time to develop that mindset. That's all it is.
It's
mindset,
momentum.
Right?
Yeah, it's momentum. You know, you start with the littlest things. You know, I'm a good person. Start little things that you agree on. And after that, you start to say, okay, going more deep and deeper and deeper, more detail. And then you start getting into like where you want to be and who you want to be. And then as you get that momentum, you start to see little things open up to you, you know, then and it's incredible. Like I've heard stories of this one guy, Danny. He's the one that inspired me to start listening to it. Antonio Antocha told me about some guy named Danny.
Great man.
And he was following Danny, and Danny did some time in prison. He came out of prison, and he's with Thatch Realties, I believe. And what happened was, after he got out of jail, I think he joined 6 months later to real estate. Didn't know nothing about the business. Started learning it little by little. They introduced Abraham Hicks to him in the processes. He started following the processes, even though he didn't believe in them at first. And this guy's, you know, he has a rough history, but come April, after he tried his, you know, going out in the field and he wasn't having success, he kept struggling, but he kept going. And he finally broke through. And come April to July, he made over $100,000.
Wow.
In sales. And you know, this is all because of something that, you know, it's a process that he believed in. And when you're around people that believe in the same processes, it made it all more powerful for him. And, you know, as me and Jeffrey we started to learn this, it was pretty interesting because it wasn't me doing it by myself. Now, me and him are starting to see signs, and he'll be like, hey, bro, I just seen this. And he'd be like, bro, this just happened to me, and I just declared it this morning, and you wouldn't believe what happened, you know what I mean?
Wow, and powerful.
It's very powerful. And I shared it with my daughter, and now my daughter, she she declares it. She declares what she wants to be, and she goes out and she does it. She just knows. And the other day she won class secretary. She's been running for that, and she did it without our help. We offered help. She's like, I got this. Don't worry. Little things that I could always incentivize her on, I gave it to her, and I would do. But for the most part, she handled it on her own.
She voiced it. Yeah.
She got it, and she nailed it. I mean,
wow. Congratulations to your daughter.
She came back that day, and she's like, Dad, you're right. She's like, you just know it and you believe it, and it's done. It's just, and it's on the right reasons, You can't declare something done and it's in the wrong intentions. Everything is in good and positive intentions. And the greater your intentions are, the more momentum you have towards, where you want to be in your desires, I believe. And not only that, but she declares that. Then right after that, she became captain for cheer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she was having struggles there, and they wanted a captain, and there was a couple people running, and she nailed it. She got it. Another thing was she wanted to go into music, and she had been bugging me, but I've been so busy, man. I never really took that step to get her into a class, and I don't know how, but God blessed us and brought that into her school. Wow. And she declared she wanted to play an instrument. She got a flute this past week. It's these little things that she's like on momentum. She's like, wow, Dad. So she got a list. She just started writing all kinds of things that she wants for herself and her future. And this is something that all started with, a little audio tape, just, curiosity, looking to be, better myself every day. And everything happens because you want it to happen. Otherwise,
you declare it.
Yeah. Otherwise, you'll be living the life of what everybody else wants to happen. You know what I mean? You'll keep going by default.
By accident, right?
Yeah, it's more like default. It's not necessarily. Yeah, by accident, you keep stumbling into this, stumbling into that, and you're just bouncing every which way. You know what I mean? Instead of like just floating through life, going after what you want.
So how long did it take for you to be able to say, you know what, this really works. This is something for real. Like when you first started up until when you were like, oh, wait a minute, this is for real. I mean, I'm seeing results.
Yeah.
How long was it from when you started till you started seeing it manifest?
Like I said, it was momentum, baby steps. I started seeing little things here, little things there. I would say I want to do this, and boom, it would happen. But honestly, I would say like 6 months and all. But right now, in the past month, ever since we went to Tony Robbins, that just sparked it up, brother. Like that fire walk and being right there with all those people with that incredible energy. I mean, I had my own personal breakthroughs there,
It's an experience.
Yeah, and that just really put me aligned with where I needed to be. And Abraham Hicks talks about numbers, and there's different signs that give you like notes that you're in the vortex. The vortex is being in the zone. Like everything's you feel good, right, tuned in, tapped in, turned on, and that's how I feel every day, man. I wake up and I'm just like, today's gonna be a great day.
State,
and I do the 20 Robbins hour power, which is the same thing. The 20 minutes of metabolism, 20 minutes breathing, writing in your journal, and 20 minutes of breathing. That was the other thing. But yeah, it's like you're on it, and that's my my evidence. That everything's great because I'm just happy. It's like there was a point before this where I was struggling to like. To make things happen. It was weird because my mindset was more like, nah, that doesn't happen for me. It doesn't happen for me. I always try, but that doesn't happen. It's like, no, you have to know you're worthy. You have to understand that, you out of 2 million other sperm cells had the opportunity to be here. And it was you that came through that womb. You know what I mean? So now you get to leave that mark in here and who you were and who you are. Or you could just, allow life to carry you on and drift to wherever it wants you to go. But I really think that, if we get authentic with ourselves, we get tapped in, as Abraham says, get aligned with yourself, you could create anything, and everything can flourish from there.
Wow. Powerful stuff. Appreciate it. So, Jeremy, if somebody's watching, the Entrepreneur Nation, is going through something similar with what you went through, maybe sees their business is not flourishing, maybe they're just, doing everything right, but maybe here it's not where it needs to be. What advice would you give that person?
You know, there's a as an entrepreneur, you know, where I'm at right now, I'm not physically successful as, you know, other people would say he's not successful, but what I
that
could
you are successful because you were
in my
able to
mind,
take.
yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah, absolutely.
don't let the fact that maybe you don't have the big house, the big car, that define your success. You
Right.
know, in my eyes, I'm pretty sure those watching, you are successful.
And I just wanted to finish with, like, it's the physical that's not notable, but right now, you know, in the non-physical, in my mind and my faith and my heart, I know that I'm successful. It's already
Yes, you
done.
are.
I've achieved that a level of success, and I know that this is not where it stops. This
The
is
beginning.
just the beginning, and it's magnificent. You know, it's like the inspiration that I want to share with people. You know, that it's possible if you're an entrepreneur and you're looking to be in a business or start a business. You know, there's a lot of conversations. People are gonna hold you, want to tell you not believe in your dream. They want to talk you out of it because they don't believe in it. You encounter problems, but you know, if we understand that problems are not problems, or it's a learning curve. It's just something for you to learn from, to benefit from the future, that if it shows up again, you don't have to go through the same thing. You get to handle it in a systemized fashion that leaves you with incredible credibility. And I feel that you just have to really go for what you want, and don't take no for an answer, you know. Don't beat yourself up. Don't be so hard on yourself. My biggest thing was my parents. They didn't believe in what I was doing. They would talk me out of going to get a 9 to 5, and that was one of the hardest things for me during the time where I'm struggling to get my family back. I'm trying to do a 180. My mom's talking me out of it. You know, maybe you should just, you know, do
Give it
something
up.
else. And it hurts because, you know, it's like after all this time invested, and you see yourself in one place, and you know, you dream about this, and you just, I don't know, it's very hurtful. But at the end of the day, I'm very fortunate and glad I didn't do what they asked me to do. You know, my girlfriend would ask me to at times, you know, you should just get another job, maybe just work part-time. But I stuck at it because I deep down felt that I
Believed.
had I had it in me to make, you know, make it happen. And going through seminars that really helped me out. I did discovery seminars, which Damiano introduced to us, Damiano Regosa, our business coach. I had never ever wanted to pay for something to better myself. I always thought YouTube, I could do it, I could learn it. Boom, you know. I
Yeah.
got invited one time to join one of those seminars. I didn't do it. I was like, $1,000, you're crazy. Keep your money. But when he paid for that ticket, it changed my life.
Wow.
I showed up. I met phenomenal people. I met Jose Perez, which is you know, he's a huge mentor to me and an amazing friend. These things opened up portals for me and changed my life. You know, when I went through discovery seminars, it pretty much taught me to believe in myself, get rid of all the bullshit,
Yeah.
all the conversations that people
Yeah.
make up, the stories, the excuses. You know, why they can't do anything, why things are not working for them. It's all blah blah blah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's true if you want to believe it's true.
Yeah.
You know, it's all bullshit if you
It
understand that it's
is.
bullshit.
And if it offends somebody who says, you know, I'm offended by those words, then, you know, reality hasn't hit them yet.
Yeah, it's a belief system. Your belief system, you know, you could fill it up with bullshit, or you could have a belief system that's fortified with positive reinforcement, which are, you know, thoughts that, you know, uplift and empower you and others by demonstration and leadership. And I feel that it's a mindset. And you know, if you're an entrepreneur trying to, you know, make that difference and set the bar, then, you know, shift your mindset. You know, there's no other way to explain it. You shift your mindset, everything else changes. You could try to change things in the physical, but it starts with here. You know, I think I really heavily think there's this thing that people talk about, action, applied. You know, applied action is you know, the key to success. I think that's a flawed premise, for the fact that without the desire,
Yep.
the will to do something, the actual for seeing yourself at that end, you know, for having that dream, is gonna give you the desire to apply that action towards that. But if you just want to apply action towards something that you really don't foresee yourself or visualize, you're gonna apply a whole bunch of action. It's gonna be a whole lot harder, a whole lot
It
harder.
is. Yeah, I mean, if the mindset is not where it needs to be, the belief system is not there. You could read so many books, you could read so many blueprints, as they say, the road to success, it's maybe even 10 times harder, or you're gonna give up because life is hard
Yeah.
as it is.
Yep.
You're gonna fail.
Yep.
You're not always gonna succeed. But if your mindset is not there, you can't control your emotions, and you can't accept the fact that it's not gonna be easy.
Yeah.
No matter how many books you read, no matter how many mentors you have, no matter how many blueprints you look at, no matter how much you plan your life, it's not gonna manifest.
Absolutely.
The belief system has to be there.
I
Correct?
believe totally. It's attitude.
Yeah.
There's people that live with excuses and people that live with fear. And
Mhm.
fear is one of the worst ones, because that controls people to the point where
Yeah.
everything revolves around their fear. And when you're able to conquer those fears, my biggest fear was not ever being able to have my family back, and
Mhm.
and not being able to provide, for myself or my daughter at the times where I hit rock bottom. It was like, wow, I gave up on my addictions, I gave up, all the negative friends, and at the end of the day, all you have is your mind, and it's like, what are you gonna do with it? Are you gonna just let it go, or are you gonna
Better your situation.
yeah, man,
Right.
develop that mindset to keep going? And that's what I did.
Wow.
I took it.
I'm happy
to
for
the
you. I'm happy for you. But Jeremy, one quality that I admire, and I think people take it for granted, is self-awareness. I don't even know what that means. I'm sure you do. What is your biggest weakness now as an entrepreneur, maybe as a father, maybe as a friend, as a shoulder to cry on? What's your biggest weakness?
My biggest weakness would be,
That's where humility kicks in.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
there's quite a few of them, but I would have to say, um, understanding myself more. I think that's my biggest weakness,
Mhm.
understanding myself more.
Wow.
I lack understanding myself more, because if I would understand myself more, I think I would be able to demonstrate and
Mhm.
accomplish things in a much faster, more successful
Efficient
way.
way.
If more efficient, exactly.
Great.
So
Okay.
I'm mastering that.
Yeah,
I'm
but it
looking
takes
to
time,
master
right?
that. Absolutely, it's a
Now,
never-ending process.
what's your biggest strength?
My biggest strength.
That just, you know what? I'm a badass when it comes to that. I own it. What's your biggest strength?
Well, to be honest with you, right now I'm holding on to just knowing it's done.
Mm-hmm.
My mindset, it's done. It's
Your mindset, like you know what? I'm gonna get there. It's gonna
I
happen, one
got
way or the
this.
other.
I got
No matter how many
this.
setbacks, no matter how many roadblocks, I'm gonna jump over them. Right?
Yeah, it's
That's
already done.
outstanding.
It's
I mean,
already
to
done.
have that mindset that you know it's gonna come, and you're willing to put in the effort. It's beautiful.
It's
It's
already done.
beautiful. Well,
That's
that's
how I'm
good.
feeling right now. Like phenomenal in a way where you don't have that worry. No more worries.
Mm-hmm.
When you feel like it's done, and then that's it. You're worry free, and you want to be able to. I want to run out to the world and tell everybody how I feel and explain to them that they could feel the same way.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
But then people look at you like, this was crazy.
Yeah, these guys have that
What's this guy
He's
on?
have that guru juice, like Tony
Yeah,
Robbins said,
he's
right?
on that.
Yeah, you know what? There's no better feeling that's more rewarding than knowing your purpose. Knowing that, you know what, I'm working hard. Life is hard, it's tough, but I'm working towards something that I love.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like even doing this, this video blog, don't get me wrong. This is one of the toughest things I had to do. The learning curve is ridiculous. And I ask myself sometimes, you know what, Rolando, you have a great business, you're doing great. Why are you putting yourself in these situations where you're like constantly beating yourself? But people say, do what you love what you do, and I think I found something that I'm in love with, and I made up my mind that this is going to be successful, and I'm out of my comfort zone, but as it is, life is hard. Might as well be doing something that's going to help you grow, and bringing value to the world. So let me ask you this, Jeremy: what's been this best advice you have ever received?
There's a lot of things. Biggest thing for me is just believing myself, and anything is possible. Roger Bannister ran the 4 minute mile, and then however many people ran it right after him. And
Mm-hmm.
it's that unknowing that you could raise the bar and set it. That's one. But another one that really stood out for me is Damiano Rigosa
Mm-hmm.
pointed out to me. Later on down the line, will your great grandkids remember you?
Legacy, right?
and will you be that legacy for them to
Mhm.
talk about and to remember, wow, this is, all been, made possible by, Jeremy Rivera, and
Yeah,
he laid the foundation for us
beautiful.
to go ahead and achieve anything else we wanted to.
Hmm.
There's a foundation to be laid, and I'm paving the way as I go.
Beautiful. Great. Awesome. We're getting towards the end. It's the part that I don't like because we have a great connection. Entrepreneur Nation is learning valuable stuff that hopefully helps them.
I hope
But
so.
if you could talk to a 20-year-old self again, what advice would you give them?
Be positive, and don't worry. Don't worry. Don't beat yourself up. Be positive. Don't worry. Everything's working out. Just learn. Learn from everything. Everything always has a learning experience. Everything. Um, and the more you're able to have a keen eye to learning, being more, aware of that, it's gonna help you, flourish into the person you want to be a little bit more faster than it would take you.
Slows the curving
Yeah. So that's what I would tell
learning curve.
myself. Just don't worry. Be positive. You
Great.
got this. You got this. It's
Awesome.
already done.
Awesome. What are you most grateful for?
Life, being present to everything that we have here. I mean, look at all these people that have passed on and left, beautiful, amazing things,
Yeah.
for us, and
Legacy.
we get to fulfill our own legacy,
Mhm.
and that's what I'm blessed to see. Life is full of contrast. It's different colors, it's multicolored,
Mhm.
and at one point in life, I was living my life black and white, and now I see everything in color. It's
Awesome.
like walking into the Wizard of Oz. You know how she starts
Yeah.
off in black and white, and then all of a
Boom.
sudden, boom, everything's in color. It's kind of like that. It's like now you
I-
see things in the magnificent way that it was supposed to be, and that's the beauty of life.
Awesome. Who is Jeremy Rivera?
Well, Jeremy Rivera is Jeremy Rivera. Jeremy Rivera, he's a he's a phenomenal, lovable, cherishing, grateful, appreciative, inspiring. I just I just want to inspire people and fulfill my life and fulfill my daughter's life, and through her life I see fulfillment. And Jeremy is a very understanding, down to earth, phenomenal human being who uh, is learning just like everybody else, and wants to teach everybody else. That if I could reach one person out there that's probably in the worst time of their life, or maybe you're in the
Yeah.
best time of your life, but you're a phenomenal human being, and that's how I feel. I feel everything's a mirror reflection. How you see the world will see you, and that's Jeremy. Jeremy is blessed.
Wow. Blessed. If I could define who you are, you're a badass. Because you went through hell and you kept going. You didn't stop.
I'm a firewalker, baby. You know what I'm
Firewalker?
talking about.
Firewalkers.
Woo!
No, that was an experience, right?
So, bro.
I think everybody, Entrepreneur Nation, if you haven't attended an experience like Tony Robbins, I mean, I really recommend you attend. It's worth every penny.
Absolutely.
Entrepreneur Nation. Jeremy,
Absolutely.
I want to thank you for being on the show.
I thank you,
Your
brother.
story, oh, you're welcome. Your story, if your story can help inspire one person, just one, to believe in themselves, to know that, it's their condition is not permanent, then our show has been a success.
Man, I was on my knees crying my life out. And that was probably for 9 years, 9 months. And I never thought I would get out of that. I didn't know where I would be in the future. It's probably going to get worse. I'm blessed, and it was all with just believing, believing and having faith in God that everything was going to work out, and
Mm-hmm.
He wouldn't put you through something that you cannot handle. He has a plan for you, a greater plan, and just don't give up. Don't give up. You have time, precious time on this earth that you don't know if you're not going to wake up tomorrow. So why not make the rest of your life the best of your life?
Awesome. Again, Entrepreneur Nation, Success is a choice. Until next time.